I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about your routine. I understand that you only sleep about 2 or 3 hours a day, and do you usually sleep during the middle of the daytime as well?
Yes, in daytime I sleep 2 hours, and night also 2 hours.
About 2 hours at night also? Is it more difficult to do this when you're traveling a lot?
No, my work is going on. While traveling also, I carry this machine, dictaphone. So I dictate, and then my assistants, they write, transcribe, and then it goes to the press. In this way, my work is.
I'd like to ask, what is your role in the Krishna consciousness movement in the United States, particularly, worldwide? 10 years ago, when you first came to the United States, did you take a very active role in the organization? And I'm wondering whether you do much of that now.
No, although the volume of work has increased 100 times, but these American disciples, they are helping me. So I haven't got to work personally so much. I simply give them instructions and they carry out. But the work has increased, voluminous is there, undoubted. I came here alone in 1965 without any help practically. Where to live, where to sleep, there was no destination. Sometimes some friend's house, sometimes some friend's house, practically loitering on the street. And in this way, I passed more than 1 year. I arrived here in 1965 in September, end of September. 17th of September in Boston. Is that Boston?
Yeah, that's Prabhupada.
Yeah. Then, in Boston, I stayed on the sea, 1 day only. But I saw the Boston city. Then I was brought to New York. So I had one friend in Butler, Pennsylvania. After my arrival, I was received by some representative of my host. So he took me to Butler, and there I stayed for 20 days. Then I came to New York with one introduction letter to one Dr. Mishra. That is the beginning of my life in New York. Then struggling. Then gradually when these boys came to me, I got some relief. And in this way, we are propagating, opening branches. And the movement is going forward.
Are there many decisions that people ask you to make about whether the movement should do this or should do that? Do they bother you with that now, or are you just busy writing and translating?
No, we do not accept any this called defective suggestion. We do not accept. We have got our program. This program is coming directly from Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita is there.
Okay.
So we are simply giving a practical say of the instruction of Gita. This is our business. We don't manufacture any imaginative thing.
His question, Prabhupada, is also, suppose someone wants to buy a farm or wants to do some new project. Do they ask your permission first?
Yes, the whole society is going on under my direction. Whatever they do, they take my permission and they put into action. Nothing is allowed without my permission.
I wonder if you might have any opinions on some of the leaders of cults and groups in the United States, such as the Divine Light Mission or the TM and so forth. I wonder if you have any opinions on Guru Maharaji or Maharishi Mahesh Yogi.
There are different groups, I know that, but I do not go in detail to understand them. But we have got a crucial test that anyone who does not know about Krishna, he is put into 4 different types of categories, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. One category is that he is sinful. Another category is that he is rascal. Another category is that he is lowest of the mankind. And another category is that his so-called knowledge is taken away by illusory energy. So this is our test. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The Namaga duskitanam mudha prapaddante naradhama maya pritaggyana asri bhavamat. Anyone who is not talking about God, he is either of these group. Sinful, rascal, rest of the mankind, and knowledge taken away by illusion. This is our conclusion, and that's a fact. Because a person who does not know about God, what he is animal. The animal has no knowledge about God. But a human being, if he poses himself to be very learned, then he must have knowledge about God. Otherwise, what is his knowledge?
Do you have any opinion about Ted Patrick, who I guess you probably heard of?
I do not care to read these persons, but I have no business, because we are strictly following Krishna. Our signboard is Krishna consciousness. So anyone who does not know anything about Krishna, we reject him immediately. That's simple business.
Is the only way to know Krishna through the Krishna consciousness movement?
Yes, certainly. If you want to know me, then you must know about me from me. You cannot speculate about me. If you speculate that Swamiji is so rich, or Swami might have so much bank balance, or he may be so much, this is all speculation. But when I say that my bank balance is such and such, that is right knowledge.
I didn't understand you.
That suppose if you are speculating what may be the Swamiji's strength of bank balance, so how you can know it? By speculation. But if I say that my bank balance is such and such, then you can understand what is bank balance. So by speculative knowledge, you cannot understand God. When God says what He is, then you can understand.
Do you feel also that if someone read the
Bhagavad
Gita and other books, that a person merely by reading these could attain knowledge of Krishna?
Yes, why not?
So that would that person have to have contact with you and learn from you also?
Yes, it is explained. There is no difficulty. But if that is difficult to understand, then we have to approach a person who has understood Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, the language is very plain. There is no difficulty. Unfortunately, they bring their own interpretation and spoil the whole thing. Otherwise, what is the difficulty? Just like the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Dharma khetre kurukshetre samaveta judussava mamaka pandavastaiva kimapu urvadasanya. The beginning of Bhagavad Gita is the battlefield, and the battlefield is called Kurukshetra. So Kurukshetra is still there in India. But these so-called learned scholars, politicians, they are squeezing out some meaning out of Kurukshetra. What is necessary? Kurukshetra is a place where actually, historically, the battle took place.
Culture.
Yes, certainly.
You don't see any slowing down of the
No,
impact?
it cannot be slowed down unless we spoil it.
Is there anyone who is designated to succeed you as the primary teacher of the movement?
I am training some, advanced students, so that they may be very easily take up the charge. I have made them GBC. They are under my direct training, and I think they will be able to conduct this movement.
Do you expect to name one person as your successor, or have you already?
That I am not contemplating now. But there is no need of one person, as other things are managed by committee. So this can also be managed. And the committee may elect one person as chief, as just like in the democracy there are senators and there is president. So it may be I may nominate or they can nominate.
Do you feel you are in good health now? You look it.
Yes, after all, of course I am 80 years old, and I complete 80 years next September. So the age is there, although I am feeling not aged by the effect of age must be there.
I didn't understand that.
He says, Prabhupada says, although he's not feeling aged, the effect of age is there.
When I interviewed you perhaps 5 or 6 years ago, it was before there were reports of the astronauts landing on the moon, and I asked you at that time if you thought, well, what you thought about it. And you said that, as I recall, that they would not be able to land or explore because spirits or creatures that lived on the moon would not allow it. The reports, of course, said that indeed people did land and explore and return safely. I understand you have further thoughts about that, and they've even written a lot about it. I wonder if you could tell me, not at great length perhaps, but what your belief about those events is.
Yes, from that question I was discussing the other day, in the common sense question, that all over the world they accept Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in this way, Saturday last. So why this arrangement? Sunday first and Monday second. So nobody could reply it. But as a layman, I can conclude the sun planet is first and the moon planet is next. So if you cannot go to the sun planet, which is 93 million miles away, how you can go to the moon planet within 4 days? Nobody could answer me. Can you answer?
Well, I don't think it's worth the answer now, but I'm wondering what your response
But
is.
this is the arrangement all over the world. Sunday first, Monday second, then Tuesday. So sun, moon, Mars, Jupiter in this way. Last Saturn. This is the arrangement of the planets. See, if this is the arrangement of the planets, moon next to sun, and if you cannot go to the sun, how can you go to the moon?
In other words, do you believe that astronauts landed somewhere?
That is next question. First of all, whether you actually went to the moon. That is the first question. You have to conclude that you did not, because if the sun planet is first, the moon planet is second. You cannot go to the sun planet, 93 millions of miles. How can you go to the moon planet?
Well, except that
According to our śāstra, the moon planet is above the sun planet, and the distance is 1,600,000 miles. So, accepting that the sun is 93 million miles away, then you add another 1,600,000, almost 2 million. It becomes 15 million miles away. So if you go at the speed of 18,000 miles per hour, it takes more than 6 months. So how you go there in 4 days? And you advertise in the paper, now they have reached, after 4 days.
They don't accept that the moon is further away.
They don't accept, that is another thing, but we have got this information. How we can accept?
I didn't understand that last.
I said to Prabhupada that the modern man believes that the moon is closer. But Prabhupada said, but our ancient literatures teach that the moon is further away. So since we have that information, how can we accept the version of the modern scientist? We've got
Not
different-
only that, why this arrangement, the Sunday first, Monday second?
Well, that doesn't necessarily speak of distance.
Hmm?
It doesn't necessarily speak of distance.
Distance may not be, but you have to accept the sun planet first, moon planet next. Distance is not a
yeah.
question.
Okay.
Why this arrangement? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There is some system. The system is just like first, second, third, fourth. So it is naturally concluded the moon planet is next to the sun planet.
Do you feel, maybe you answered this, but I didn't understand the answer. Do you feel that astronauts did land somewhere, but it was some other planet?
That may be, or it may not be.
What about sometimes people ask us, what about the pictures of man on the moon?
They show man in a spacesuit walking on some other planet.
That is also what is called argumentary. Somebody says it is laboratory arrangement.
Laboratory.
Of course, we do not go into the details of this. My question is why Sunday first and Monday second? Nobody can reply this.
Prabhupada once also argued that the dust, the dirt that they brought back, it did not reflect any light, but the moon is always reflecting light. So it was a different substance than what must be on the moon's surface.
Now, according to our Vedic scripture, moon is one of the heavenly planets.
Are there any other Vedic scriptures that you believe speak to a situation that is greatly misunderstood today besides this?
No, Vedic understanding means there is no different Vedic.
But do people say, another example where what you hold is very different from what the rest of society holds? Is there something else that would be...
No, why?
No, he means, Prabhupada, that just like modern man is thinking that they went to the moon, and our Vedic scripture says they didn't. So he's asking, are there any other controversies?
No.
Just like reincarnation,
So far,
transmigration.
Vedic students are concerned, they have no controversy.
But from what the modern man believes, there may be some difference.
Modern man believes that's all right, but
That's what his question is.
our basic knowledge is on the Vedic principle.
Yes.
That whatever, just like we are explaining now, Vedo Vihita Dharma. We have to understand everything from the Vedas, from the Vedic knowledge. So anything which does not speak in terms of the Vedic formula, we do not accept such knowledge as valid.
Okay.
But practically we are seeing that.
But would you accept conclusions from science that only if it agreed with the Vedic scriptures?
First of all is that this, what, as you say, science. What do you mean by science? Will you explain?
Well, what the best conclusions of the best people in science?
Yes, that's all. But what is the best conclusion?
Well, rely on their opinions.
Well, that is opinion. The opinion is changing. How can you rely? That is not fixed. So what is this opinion? What is the value of this opinion?
Well,
You give some opinion, and after some years you change it. So how can I rely on your opinion?
would Darwin's theory of evolution and other evolutionary theories
Whatever it may be, if it is being changed every year or every 10 years, then what is the value of this opinion? There is no value.
Well, but religious thought in India has changed over the
No,
years too.
nothing. We do not change. Just like
Well,
this
others change.
Others may deviate, that is another thing. But the system is not that. You cannot deviate from the Vedic injunction. If you have to follow the acharyas, just like India is obeying the mass population or the saint population, they are following the acharyas. Acharyas means great teachers, bona fide teachers. Perhaps we have heard their name, just like Rāmeśvara, Madhyacharya, Nimbata, Vishnu Swami, Lord Chaitanya. So they are followed. And they are of the same opinion. Millions of years ago, what was the opinion? And that opinion is still there. Take for Bhagavad Gita. And there is not a single Indian who does not accept Bhagavad Gita as authority. This is besides the foreigners who also take interest so much in Bhagavad Gita. So for Indians are concerned, even some of the Mohammedans, so apart from Mohammedans, those who are claiming as Hindu, they all accept the authority of Bhagavad Gita. So this Bhagavad Gita, they might have changed, but that is not accepted.
I think I covered most questions that I wanted to in the interview. Did you say that somebody would be transcribing?
Yes, I'm going to arrange to have it transcribed.
Because there are a lot of things that I couldn't catch just because I'm not attuned to hearing you, so a lot of words I did not understand. But
I'll arrange for that.
Okay.
You'll get it tomorrow.
well, I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
If, just like there is this one point that the scientists say something, which everyone in the world believes, but you are saying something different. So he was very
No,
interested.
Well, the Vedic scriptures saying
Yeah,
something different.
the Vedic scriptures say
yes,
something different.
but the thing is,
Thank you.
that is practical. The scientific statement given today, and after a few days it is changed.
Yes.
Then, if I say, what is the value of such statement? If you change it, that is my point. But so far Vedic injunctions are there, we don't change. What was given millions of years ago, that we carry.
Thank you very much.